Here's what you missed on Thus Spake Zarathustra in under 60 seconds. Aphorism 9 of the Prologue. Zarathustra wakes up in the forest and has the novel idea that in order to gain people's trust, he should befriend them. I need companions, living ones, not dead companions and corpses. Good job, buddy, you got there eventually. And so he finally parts ways with the tightrope walker we buried in the hollow of a tree, remember that? An interesting decision. And thou, my first companion, rest in peace. Well have I buried thee in the hollow tree, well have I hid thee from the wolves. You know, he keeps telling himself that he hid him well from the wolves, but the fact he keeps on saying this makes me think that he didn't hide him that well from the wolves after all. And Zarathustra with this new awakening, 2 awakenings in one lifetime, seems like someone's hogging all the awakenings to me. Where's it for the rest of us, buddy? Zarathustra will leap over his enemies, taking a page out of the book of the buffoon, his words, not mine, and I quote, "Thus let my ongoing be their downgoing." Gee, for such an enlightened guy, he sure does seem so mighty. But of course, he's talking about the transcendence and not the actual killing of a man. Oh, and he spake thus to his heart, again. And that's what happened in Aphorism 9 of the Prologue to Thus Spake Zarathustra in under 60 seconds. Oh, and welcome to Aphorism 9 of the Prologue to Thus Spake Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. I'm so happy you're here. Now that you've heard the summary, if you haven't already read this section of the prologue, we're going to do that right now. But if you have, no worries, you can check out the chapters below and skip on ahead to that analysis section. We'll meet you there. But before you go, be sure to check out that pinned question in the comment section below. Could be something interesting to keep in mind throughout the video. But if you'd rather wait till the end, I understand. Anywho, we'll meet you there. Let's put that magnifying glass to Nietzsche's works. Long slept Zarathustra, and not only the rosy dawn passed over his head, but also the morning. At last, however, his eyes opened, and amazedly he gazed into the forest and the stillness. Amazedly he gazed into himself. Then he rose quickly, like a seafarer who all at once seeth the land, and he shouted for joy, for he saw a new truth, and he spake thus to his heart, "A light hath dawned upon me. I need companions, living ones, not dead companions and corpses, which I carry with me where I will. But I need living companions, who will follow me because they want to follow themselves, and to the place where I will. A light hath dawned upon me. Not to the people is Zarathustra to speak, but to companions. Zarathustra shall not be the herdsman and hound. To allure many from the herd, for that purpose have I come. The people in the herd must be angry with me. A robber shall Zarathustra be called by the herdsmen. Herdsmen, I say, but they call themselves the good and just. Herdsmen, I say, but they call themselves the believers in the orthodox belief. Behold the good and just. Whom do they hate most? Him who breaketh up their tables of values, the breaker, the lawbreaker, he, however, is the creator. Behold the believers of all beliefs. Whom do they hate most? Him who breaketh up their tables of values, the breaker, the lawbreaker, he, however, is the creator. Companions the creator seeketh, not corpses, and not herds or believers either. Fellow creators the creator seeketh, those who grave new values on new tables. Companions the creator seeketh, and fellow reapers, for everything is ripe for the harvest with him. But he lacketh the 100 sickles, so he plucketh the ears of corn and is vexed. Companions the creator seeketh, and such as know how to whet their sickles. Destroyers will they be called, and despisers of good and evil. But they are the reapers and rejoicers. Fellow creators Zarathustra seeketh, fellow reapers and fellow rejoicers Zarathustra seeketh. What hath he to do with herds and herdsmen and corpses? And thou, my first companion, rest in peace. Well have I buried thee in thy hallowed tree, well have I hid thee from the wolves. But I part from thee, the time hath arrived. Twixt rosy dawn and rosy dawn, there came unto me a new truth. I am not to be a herdsman, I am not to be a grave digger. Not any more will I discourse unto the people, for the last time have I spoken unto the dead. With the creators, the reapers, and the rejoicers will I associate. The rainbow will I show them, and all the stairs to the Superman. To the lone dwellers will I sing my song, and to the twain dwellers, and unto him who hath still ears for the unheard, will I make the heart heavy with my happiness. I make for my goal, I follow my course. Over the loitering and tardy will I leap. Thus let my ongoing be their down-goings. Geez, that was quick. Just a little humor for those chapter jumpers. Now it's time for the deep dive. Just kidding, it won't be scary. I'll be with you the whole time. And as any good English major would, I have notes. So that is where I will be looking throughout this analysis. Very well. Like a seafarer who all at once seeth the land, functions like an allusion to the second awakening that Zarathustra has upon greeting the new morning in this aphorism. I really interpreted this as a reference to the conversations between Zarathustra and the old man/saint in the earlier aphorisms. That's when they use the sea as a metaphor for the first time to represent wisdom acquisition and knowledge sharing. As in the sea hast thou lived in solitude, and it hath borne thee up. Alas, wilt thou now go ashore? Alas, wilt thou again drag thy body thyself? What I see here is a very subtle foreshadowing to Zarathustra's most recent actions in this Aphorism 9. He's dragged the body of the rope walker through the town and into the woods to ultimately bury. He has literally dragged the body thyself. And by burying this man, I'd argue, he's burying an old ideal of how to share the idea of the Superman with others. A light hath dawned upon me. The motif of the sun personified lives on here. This is where I recognize that second awakening that I mentioned in the 60-second synopsis at the beginning of this video. I think he's really alluding to those earlier aphorisms by referencing light like this. I like to think of this as a return of the sun to Zarathustra's psyche. It hath dawned upon him. Dawned very literally here. Zarathustra shall not be the herdsman and hound. If a herdsman is a keeper of domestic animals which go in herds, and a hound is a dog kept for the chase, especially one hunting by scent, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, then we can infer Zarathustra is saying he doesn't want his pedagogy to be one of chasing and managing a docile herd that blindly accepts everything he soliloquizes. Rather, he wants companions. This is a catalyst for the transition from seeking followers to seeking fellow creators. Fellow creators, Zarathustra seeketh. Fellow reapers and fellow rejoicers, Zarathustra seeketh. What hath he to do with herds and herdsmen and corpses? He finally sees the value in community over a cult-like following. Perhaps Nietzsche is arguing that the manner in which we gather together informs the ideas we garner. Wouldn't that be a beautiful notion? What are your thoughts? I am not to be a herdsman, I am not to be a grave digger, nay, any more will I discourse unto the people, for the last time have I spoken unto the dead, meaning the dead literal, and those who fall under the last man orthodox, which we've discussed in detail in earlier videos, and you can check that out in the playlists I'll link up here in this video. It'll also be down in the description box below. With the creators, the reapers, and the rejoicers will I associate the rainbow I will show them, and all the stairs to the Superman. Rainbow as in the full spectrum of visible colors, i.e. referring to the most decadent and full scope of light and therefore enlightenment. And that concludes our summary, reading, and analysis of Aphorism 9 to the prologue of Thus Spake Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, be sure to check out that question pinned below in case you want to further develop this conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you'd like to catch up on earlier sections to Thus Spake Zarathustra, I've linked that playlist down below so you can feel free to explore that whenever you'd like. I'll catch you in the next section. Until then, peace.